Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
And welcome back. We are going to be talking in this segment about our author symposium, and I sort of wanted to take an entire segment to talk about this because we're really excited about it and how we came up with the concept and where we're going with it. And with me right now is Deanne Ojar Ali, and I said your name right, right?
Yes,
I said Deanne, not Diane. So what we're really excited about with Deanne is she's not only here as my guest today, she is one of our exhibitors, she's one of our authors, and she's one of our speakers at the event. So she's going to be talking a little bit about what she's going to talk about on stage and let people know that she's there and wants to meet them and come up to her booth and visit her and check out her book. It's absolutely amazing. Now, did you bring your book? Okay, we're going to get Krista, our trusty assistant, to bring us the book, right? Thank you very much.
Krista.
Yeah, you should be like hanging it around your neck, like what the heck, right?
Like this, right?
What we're going to do, let me talk a little bit about the author symposium, and then we're going to go and we're going to discuss your book and what you're going to be talking about at the event. I came up with the concept of the author symposium, obviously having such a background in publishing and having written my own book. We wanted to bring together the experts that can help people to create their books, and then the people who've created books that can help people on their journey to a beautiful life. And of course, we always come back to our original mission. And when I started it, I got like a lot of questions. What are we doing? What's it about? And what we want to do is get in a room, the experts that can help you. So we have writers, we have publishers, we have editors, printers, all in the room. So that you can go around, you can ask everyone about bringing your dream to life. Now, it's not just, we're not sitting to one genre. We've got writers from the fiction end. We've got, science fiction, romance. So actually, that's the fun one. We had an 82-year-old writer of a romance, right? I thought that was awesome. Yeah, I thought that was awesome that she's writing a book. Wanting to come out. So we have a lot of the fiction side, but we also have the B2B side, the business-to-business side. So we have people writing about how to focus, how to build a business plan, and then we have the self-help, those who have experienced things and can help you on your journey through different things that you might have experienced. So it's really neat, the people that are coming together. And at this particular event, we're not just inviting like the entrepreneurial realm. We are bringing in homemakers, corporate, students. Anyone's invited to come out to this, to listen to our speakers, to network with everybody that's there, and to be able to meet people who have actually succeeded in accomplishing a book, what it took for them to accomplish the book, and be able to get your dream going or finish your dream. Because we've had people who have written the book but don't know what to do once they've written it. And they're sort of stumped. And it's like, okay, where do I take it from here? How do I get it printed? What are we looking at costs? And then there's a lot of really neat things out there that I've learned. There's books on demand that you can get 20 books printed. You can get 6,000 books printed. There's just so many areas that you can go into. And again, we're launching our online bookstore at the same time. So people who come out to the event can actually be able to continue connecting with the authors that we have there and be able to purchase their books after the fact, or at that point they'll be telling their friends about these amazing books they've seen, and they'll want to connect and do that. So the Author Symposium is open to everyone. It is on February 28th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will be having speakers, and you'll be able to visit with everybody within the trade area. And then we also are going to be having the networking at the symposium. And that is open to all business people to come out and connect, again, not just with the B2B, the business-to-business people, but to connect with retail, consumer, corporate students. So you're opening your world to the people that you can connect with and continue building your business. Deanne, let's talk about your book.
Yes.
Now, we're so excited that you're going to be one of our speakers. That is
Thank you.
awesome.
I am
and
thrilled.
You're one of the showcase people.
Yes.
You're also on the cover of our current issue. So if you go onto our site, you'll see the book on the cover of our current issue. And you've written an article in the current issue. So you're totally into the beautiful life, right? You're right in there. So tell us about your book. First of all, tell us the title. How did you come up with it?
The name is Mrs. Fraud and You. Will you be the victim or victor when she comes knocking? It's a little funny story. I am from the financial industry background, and I spoke to the clients, and I made calls to the clients regards identity theft. And it started off basically about Mr. Fraud and You, but it was linked to a Bollywood movie, which, you know.
A Bollywood movie?
Cool. A Bollywood movie.
So there's lots of dance?
The movie was never released, apparently, from my understanding.
Enough dancing. Okay.
Exactly. So I changed the name to Mrs. Fraud and You. Will you be the victim or victor when she comes knocking? And the funny thing is, most people think this is my picture. It's not. However, the
It's
book
kinda
has become
ominous, yeah.
yes. It's funny that the book has become me, and especially women writing it. And most people think that most fraudsters are male, which is
Is
not
that
true.
right? Yeah. Well, that's how a lot of women can get away with it, right? Because the vulnerability is there, where they're thinking there's no way it's going to
Absolutely.
happen. But I've also heard people call you Miss Fraud and you.
My husband is now calling me Mrs. Fraud.
Your husband's calling you Mrs. Fraud.
But you know, the ironic thing
It's
is,
on bed, right?
I don't think he does that.
But anyway, back to what we were saying.
Love Ronnie. But what's happening right now? There is a movie coming out, and ironically enough, I thought about it last night when I was speaking to someone. She is the fraudster in the movie.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's with Megan. No, what's her name?
Melissa McCarthy, yes,
Melissa
that's correct. So
okay.
it works perfectly in conjunction with the launching of the book. And basically, the book is to bring awareness, to educate people. It's for everyone. I was actually visiting my brother who was here last night, and we were at a bar. And the waitress saw me signing the book to send a couple from my siblings back home. And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, I wrote the book." And then she started telling me about her sister-in-law who has been a victim. And then she was also a victim. So everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by people telling me stories.
Isn't it awful? It's horrible. I mean, in that particular case, you don't want to hear about people's stories, but there are a lot of stories out there.
There are a lot of stories, but the stories that we're more interested in, the common stories is fine, but there's some very unique stories. And it's therapy for people when they read the book and when I speak with them. Sometimes it's the first time they probably speak to somebody openly about it. So it's like your own therapist.
There you go. That's good.
Yes, I'm very therapist.
No, that's excellent.
Absolutely.
So now, what are you going to be talking about when you're on stage? I know you're going to be talking about, I mean, obviously you're promoting your
Absolutely.
book, but you're also going to be giving inspiration to people about who want to actually write their own book.
That's correct. You and I had that conversation, and you're the one that put that into my brain.
I'm brilliant.
I know. But what's been happening? I've been surrounded and bombarded with in a really nice way. I'm so blessed with that. A lot of people are coming up to me because this is actually my business card. And before I had my business card, my business card had the book on it, and it didn't matter how I introduced myself. From the time they heard you wrote a book, that was the end of the conversation. It just totally went a different direction about, oh, I wanted to write a book. I have this story in me and so forth. So everybody I meet now, I would say, why didn't you write a book? Why didn't you put that into a book? And apart from that, I was like, oh, I can't afford it. I can't write. Do you think I can spell and write? That's why we have editors.
That's right. That's absolutely. Actually, I'm going to touch quickly on what you just said.
Yes.
That is, for those who want to use a book in their business, it is a fantastic tool to establish yourself as an expert in your field.
Amazing.
And it does become, like a lot of times, it's not even a sale point. It's much more as a giveaway to let people know. Again, it's like writing an article in the magazine. It's to let people know that your thoughts and how you respond and how you act. And I think that is really important because they get to know you personally before they do business with you. So it's a fantastic way of creating a calling card. That's why, again, why we've invited both sides, the creative side, and we wanted to invite the B2B side because it can be used as a calling card.
It is a calling card. And I say to everyone now, I run into a lot of mortgage agents, real estate agents, financial planners to say, well, how do you differentiate yourself? How can I pick you off from the crowd? What is your specialty? Take it and put it into something that's value for your clients.
That's right.
It's not about what your business is. It's absolutely not. Be the voice. Be that special person who's always there. And going back to what we were talking about when we had that discussion, most people write a book. I have had people I've met recently have read 2 or 3 books, and they've never told anybody they wrote the book, or maybe they sold a few books. But what do you do with the book? It's in the garage. It's in their house.
Actually, that's a lot. Getting a lot of stories like that,
yes.
Which is also why we brought. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's why we brought PR agents, marketing agents, sales agents also coming out to this event, because it's not enough to just write the book. If you're going to write and you're going to print, 2,000, 5,000 copies, they can't sit in your garage.
No.
You've got to be able to get them out. So when you think about writing a book, you have to think about the long term. Where are you going to get it out, and how are you going to get it out? And there's a lot of great resources out there. I mean, people are going on Amazon and they're going on the different sites, but that's still not enough because you're buried amongst all these other books, you've got to keep yourself out there. You've got to go do PR, you've got to be on TV, you've got to be promoting yourself in order to get people to know who you are and what the book is about, right?
Absolutely. And what's been happening with me recently is the opportunity is just amazing, really and truly. And go to your local stores, the people that you support, and ask them, can I keep a few books there? You'd be very surprised. I did that up to yesterday. And we talked about the roller coaster ride, and I called it through in the process, as you know, the growing pains. Like going into labor pains, it is the growing pains and the transformation from starting to finish, and what do you do next? And that's why we're there at the symposium. We have all the resources. If not, ask.
That's right. Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on stage, was because it wasn't just to promote your book. It was to say, you know what, she did it. And this is how she did it. And this is how she did it, and the steps it took to get there and to do it. You get intimidated by those steps. You get afraid to take sort of the next step forward. So you say, okay, I'm not even going to start, or where do I start? And like I said, I've had people contact me saying, well, I've written the manuscript, I don't know what to do with it. And it's like, well, if you spend all these hours writing it, you're going to have to take it to the next thing. You have to send it to an editor, send it to a publisher, get it, I mean, you can tell us more about that, get it compiled, get everything done. You're going to have to do this, and then you're going to have to get it printed, and then you're going to have to market yourself and the book like crazy. And that you're going to have to do this. Otherwise, you are in that realm of leaving them sitting in your garage. You're not going anywhere.
One of the things I do with people when I meet them right there on the spot, and they're really floored by it, I will make them introduce themselves as an author. I was like, what? Yes, do it. And you have to convince me. And it's like fun, but it's right on the spot. Somebody I met for the first time, by the way. And when they actually introduce themselves with a confidence and believe that they are an author, it's like, whoa, what just happened?
You know, it's funny that you say that, because I had an incident happen to me just yesterday where I had a woman contact me, and she gave me this massive bio. And then she said to me, she says, well, I know you're young and new in business. And I just went, what? And then I sent her an email back, and I said, I'm not sure if I should be offended by this or not. Either you haven't read my bio, or I'm not enough of a braggart, right? One of the two is happening.
She has never met your mother.
Well, it's like, there's a disconnect here if you're not sort of recognizing that. And I think a lot of the time we do become really shy about saying, yes, we've done this or we've done that, because we don't want to push ourselves out. And that's a very Canadian thing, too. Like, Americans are much better at it, putting themselves out there, and they're much better at presenting themselves, where we as Canadians tend to be a lot more reserved and shy, and we want somebody else to talk about us rather than talk about ourselves. And we need to break that, especially if you want sales, especially if you're going for a bestseller, and especially if you want to get yourself marketed out there.
And it's amazing, talking about what I was going to talk about there, my actual segment or my work should be Author's Magic Wand. So if I had a wand and I could wave it in front of you, we can get that from your head to paper to book. We have the resources, we have the knowledge, we've done it. There's quite a few people that have done it. If not, just ask. We will find the resources. We have the printers, we have the editors, we have the formatters, we have, well, they have to come with your own financing, but there's also self-publishing where you can get sponsorship. So we'll teach you how to get the sponsorship.
Exactly.
And write a few chapters right there and then, if that's possible. And
Actually,
get it down.
It's funny that again, you're bringing up these really good points. The concept
That's
of
why I'm here, Ronnie.
That's right. What a team. The concept of sponsorship, people get really frightened over that. Not just because they don't want to go out and ask people to give money to their book, but they also think it kills their craft. That it's the creative is then somehow tarnished or destroyed. And I know I spoke to one lady and I said, why aren't you doing this? Like, your topic is about XYZ. You can get all these people on board. And she said, well, I don't want to really do that because, it takes away the integrity of the book. And it's like, no, it doesn't.
No,
like,
it's the credibility of the book.
And you need to get
Absolutely.
it out. And if getting people on board with it, it helps them get exposure and it helps you get your book out to people and be able to have some people helping you with the financial side.
Absolutely, and if I'll just quickly show you here what it looks like so people understand. It's just one-page ads.
That's right.
Just one-page ads, and these people are promoting me and I'm promoting them. So yes, there are many ways. It can be very easy, a really easy process, not as difficult as most people think. Once they put their mind in and say, I'm committed to do it, and if you're committed to do it, I'm committed to help you. We both are.
Yep.
And everyone who's going to be there, we will be committed with you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are going to wrap things up.
Yes.
We want to just quickly reiterate that the symposium is on February 28th from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are now on sale on our site. You can purchase there, you can call us, and we can send you a ticket. Either way works with us. The Ontario Arts Council, which is very exciting,
Yes.
they have sent writer survival guides on how to get grants to write your book. So that is really exciting.
Yes,
so
I'm
it's an
looking forward.
opportunity. Yeah,
I'm looking forward
it's
to
a
that.
fantastic thing. And one of the things they did tell me when I was talking to them is that they work with published books, so third-party published, but they are opening an area now for self-published. So it is an
Yes.
opportunity to get funding for your book, which is amazing. So you will be able to pick up a survival kit at the symposium. You'll be able to network and meet everyone, meet Deanne,
Yes.
and be able to hear her speak. And we welcome you to come, and please check out our site. You'll see all the information there. And I want to thank you again for tuning in. We've had a fabulous time.
Yes,
It's been
thank you, Annie.
great with Nadia and Deanne. And please go onto our site, check us out. Our next issue is due to drop in a few weeks, so you'll be able to pick it up or download it from our site. And this is Ronnie Swace wishing you a beautiful life.
Sunshine, lollipops, and green boughs.